Saturday. I was working overtime at the company. My phone suddenly received a notification that the home camera was disconnected. I opened it to check the reason. I found out that my husband had unplugged the power himself. Before he reached out to unplug it, I saw my mother-in-law and younger brother-in-law sitting upright on the sofa. I was puzzled. Whenever my mother-in-law comes over, it's never a good sign. I hurriedly finished up and rushed home. As soon as I pushed the door open, I saw my mother-in-law and younger brother-in-law about to leave. My mother-in-law smiled broadly at Michael. Then let's say it this way, we're leaving now. As my mother-in-law passed by me, she put away her smile and glanced at me. She said nothing. Younger brother-in-law Ethan also ignored me. He hummed a tune as he walked past me. I curiously asked Michael, "Why are your mom and brother in such a hurry to leave today? Are they not staying for dinner?" A hint of discomfort appeared on Michael's face, but he quickly calmed down. He said, "Oh, my mom said weekends are rare, so they won't come and trouble us. I feel something is off in the past. Every weekend, my mother-in-law would bring my brother-in-law to our house. She insisted that I busily prepare a large feast. During meals, they would always pick and choose. It almost made me lose my temper. Only then would my mother-in-law be satisfied. Today, when I came back, she just left like that." I continued to ask him, "What did you talk about in the afternoon?" "I just heard my mother-in-law say it's settled." "What's the matter?" Michael looked down and cleaned up the fruit peels on the table. He didn't look at me. He said softly, "It's just small talk. My mom said my aunt might come to visit for a few days next month. If she stays at our house, we have to treat her well. I think this is a bit strange." I couldn't help but ask, "Just chatting about these everyday matters. Why do we need to unplug the camera?" I checked the playback records. I saw that my mother-in-law and younger brother-in-law were very happy when they entered. My mother-in-law was about to speak. Then she suddenly pointed at the camera by the TV. She gave Michael a knowing look. He understood immediately. He unplugged the camera. Michael was taken aback for a moment. Then he smiled and said, "You were still watching the camera, huh? Mom feels uncomfortable with the camera watching her, so she asked me to turn it off." The camera was installed not long after we moved in. When my mother-in-law came before, she didn't mind the camera at all. Why is it that this time, when I'm not home, she feels uneasy? The more I think about it, the stranger it seems. I was just about to ask further when Michael suddenly interjected. He asked me, "By the way, how's the renovation of your house going?" I answered honestly, "It was just finished last week. Didn't I tell you before? I plan to buy some activated carbon to put in the house. Open the window for ventilation when you have time. After 3 months, the smell will dissipate. Then we can move in." Michael nodded and said, "My company has not been busy lately. Hand me the keys, I'll help you ventilate." I thought about it and felt it was okay. I've been very busy with work lately. I often work overtime until late. This apartment makes me very happy. The decoration was designed by a designer according to my preferences. Every piece of furniture was carefully selected after searching online for a long time. Some were even shipped from other places at a high price. The location of the house is also good. It's only 500 meters from the best school district in our city. Not to mention that my parents specifically chose a house near the subway for my convenience. It's much closer to the company than the one I live in now. I glanced at the old decor around me. It made me feel particularly uncomfortable. When I married Michael back then, my mother-in-law had mentioned voluntarily. My mother-in-law mentioned it herself. She will give us a fully renovated wedding house, and the payment for the house has been settled. She also said that after marriage, she wouldn't move in with her brother-in-law. It would just be the two of us living our own lives. I'm very happy. I feel that my mother-in-law is very sincere. Later, she said that buying a wedding house was a big pressure. The family couldn't come up with much dowry money. I can understand that. I discussed it with my parents. 60,000 yuan is just enough for a formality. Unexpectedly, the day after we got the certificate and moved in, my mother-in-law, Michael, and my brother-in-law were all sitting on the living room sofa. They kept staring at me. It made me feel anxious. My mother-in-law spoke first. "Sophia, since you've married in, we are now family. I shouldn't hide things from you regarding family matters. Actually, the money spent on buying you a wedding house was all of our savings. We've run out of money at home. We really can't come up with that much dowry money. This 60,000 yuan was borrowed from relatives. Now I hope you can give me the dowry, so I can pay this money back. Moreover, your family said it was just a formality. It's not like we can't afford the 60,000 yuan. You should proactively give me this money. Why do I still have to ask for it? I can't believe this is real. It's only the second day after the wedding. My mother-in-law said the betrothal gifts were borrowed, and I have to pay them back. I stared at Michael in shock. He avoided my gaze. He stammered while speaking. Sophia, I just found out about this too. We are indeed at fault, but my mom worked hard to raise us. She even bought us a wedding house. That counts for something, I promise you. I will definitely work hard from now on and make up for the betrothal money. Is that okay? I was really angry at that time, but their whole family was waiting for me to pay up. If it really escalated, I wouldn't benefit at all. There was no way out. I can only do it in front of them. Reluctantly return the betrothal gift. Just because of this, I started having conflicts with my mother-in-law. She won't move in with my brother-in-law, but every weekend, she brings my brother-in-law over for dinner. As soon as she walks in, if she notices that the decor is different from last time, she has to nitpick. Clearly, taking care of flowers is a good thing. But she insists on asking, why didn't you tell me first about the flowers? You can't keep flowers in this house. Michael's element is earth, but it's weak. Keeping flowers will affect his health and fortune. As a daughter-in-law, how come you don't pay attention? The wedding house was decorated by my mother-in-law. Everything is according to her preferences. It's all in an old-fashioned pure wood style. I'm already tired enough after work, just lying on the hard sofa. My whole body feels uncomfortable. After work, I saw someone selling flowers at the subway entrance. I thought about buying some flowers to decorate the house. At least it would look a bit more pleasant. I didn't expect my mother-in-law to react so strongly. The property management said last time that someone complained about our shoe rack being placed at the door, affecting others, so I immediately moved it inside. As a result, my mother-in-law came and got angry. She said the shoe rack was specifically placed outside by her. I shouldn't have moved it around. You know this house has a shared area of 15 square meters. I just wanted to make the most of the space. Did you not contribute any money for the house? So you don't care about these expenses. The property management is hired with our money as homeowners. They should listen to us instead. She complained while moving the shoe rack back outside. Sure enough, it wasn't long before we received another complaint. Even the arrangement of the dishes at home cannot be changed at all. This marriage house is nominally for us, but in reality, it feels more restricted than living in a prison. Michael always advises me not to be calculative. He says this marriage house has drained our family's savings. Later I found out, this house was not bought with a one-time payment at all. Michael spends almost all his salary every month on the mortgage, and I am the one bearing the daily expenses at home. What makes me even angrier is, at the beginning, my mother-in-law repeatedly said this house was bought for us as a wedding home, but the property deed has the names of Michael, Ethan, and my mother-in-law on it. If I hadn't accidentally seen the utility bills left at the door by the property management, I would still be in the dark about this. Because of this matter, Michael and I had a huge fight. It almost led to divorce. In the end, he knelt down and begged me. He repeatedly promised to transfer the house to our names in the future. That's when we made up. Later on, when my parents heard about this, they immediately took out all the money they had. They specifically bought me a house. They just wanted me to have a better life after marriage. In the past, Michael always stood by me. This time, however, he conspired with my mother-in-law and younger brother to keep it from me. They even wanted to remove the cameras, out of fear that I would find out. These past few days, I've been subtly asking. Michael still hasn't said a word. When I pressed him, he instead blamed me. Why do you always doubt me? Even if you can't get along with my mom, but I have nothing to hide from you. Trust is the most important thing between spouses. If you keep this up, we really can't go on. That's easy to say. But he even takes his phone with him when he showers. He sleeps with his phone under his pillow. How can I not be suspicious about that? Just when I was about to reach my breaking point, my uncle who runs a wedding planning company suddenly contacted me. He sent me a video of my house and asked, "Sophia, is this house yours?" I was puzzled as to why he had a video of my home. He sent a voice message saying, "I remember you posted about it before. I have a vague impression. Yesterday, a couple came to book a wedding. The package they chose happened to include free decoration of the wedding house. Today, that person took me to see the wedding house. The more I looked, the more familiar it seemed. I wanted to ask if it was your family's place." I was stunned. How did my house become someone else's wedding house? Uncle will send over the client information right away. I was even more surprised to see that it was my brother-in-law, Ethan. How did this house become his? I'll reply to him immediately. "Uncle, this house really is mine. Uncle said again. The young man said he was getting married on the 5th of next month. He asked us to have the house ready before the 5th. I immediately understood what was going on. That day, my mother-in-law brought my brother-in-law to our house. It was for this matter. They knew I would never agree, and they were afraid I would find out. That's why they had Michael take down the cameras. I gradually felt a chill in my heart. No wonder Michael asked me about the house that day. He was in a hurry to take the keys. They probably feared I would notice something was off if I went over one day. They concealed from me that they were using this house as a wedding house for my brother-in-law. This suggests they might have told the bride's family that it was his house. If I were to forcibly take it back, I would not only be seen as the villain in the family, they might even turn around and claim that the house originally belongs to them. But I was present on the day my brother-in-law got married. The truth will come out sooner or later. What are they really up to? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Michael suddenly sent a bunch of messages. He first sent several happy emojis. Then he excitedly sent a lot of voice messages. Sophia, our company is going to reward the outstanding employees of this quarter. You can have a free 7-day domestic trip. You can choose any place. I actually wanted to go with you, but the company only reimburses one person's expenses. We still have a lot of pressure from our mortgage. Having one more person would mean extra costs. I see you've been working overtime and are really tired, so I'm giving this opportunity to you. You should take a vacation and rest well. What do you think? Am I good to you? You have to give me a massage when you come back tonight, and buy me a gift to thank me. If I hadn't learned the truth later on, I really thought Michael was doing this for my sake. Now I finally understand. He just wants to drive me away. I feel really ridiculous. In this year of marriage, no matter how my mother-in-law treats me, as long as Michael sweet-talks me a little every day. I just think, after all, he is the one living with me. Just tolerate it and let it go. But now I understand. They are the real family. The more I give in, the more they think I'm easy to handle. Now they even dare to have ideas about me. Just thinking about this makes my blood boil. I won't even attend class anymore. I'll pack my things and go back to find Michael for an explanation. I had just opened the front door, when suddenly I heard a voice coming from the bathroom. Darling, did you miss me? I was startled all over. I slowly walked towards the bathroom. Michael's voice clearly reached my ears. Darling, I miss you so much. I'll come find you after I finish up these busy days. I'll come find you after I'm done with work these couple of days. By the way, take a day off on the 5th of next month. My brother is getting married. You come pretend to be my wife. No way, none of my relatives have met her. It won't be exposed. You have to come. I love you. I feel cold all over. Today's news keeps coming one after another. I'm about to reach my limit. I turned over with difficulty, seeing my pale face in the mirror. It's really ridiculous. The marriage I have been desperately trying to maintain. Turns out that person has long betrayed me. They even want to replace me with a third party. To show up in front of relatives. Fine, I will make you get what you wish for, and I will make you regret your choices. I heard the sound of water coming from the bathroom. Michael is taking a shower and humming a tune. I left quietly. There is still a week until the 5th of next month. Michael couldn't wait to ask me, have you booked the flight and hotel? Let me know once you have the itinerary. I had arranged to take you to the airport that day. I secretly found it amusing. Only by seeing through the truth can one understand the intention behind every word he says. He just wanted to confirm that I would definitely go traveling that day. I casually nodded. Go ahead. Book it later. By the way, there's something I need to tell you. Give me the new house key. That day I casually pointed to tell him where the new house key was. Unexpectedly, he took the entire set of keys. He asked in surprise, what do you need the new house key for? I said while scrolling on my phone, nothing in particular. It's just that I don't plan to live in that apartment. A couple of days ago, my colleague was looking for a house to move into. Coincidentally, he found a place in my new neighborhood. I thought it would be perfect to rent the new house to him. That way, I can earn some rental income each month. It would ease our mortgage pressure. As soon as Michael heard this, he immediately stood up from the sofa. He stared at me with wide eyes. How could you rent out the house? Why didn't you discuss it with me first? I looked at him in confusion. Go ahead. Didn't I already tell you? Weren't you just saying that the mortgage pressure was high? Isn't this a perfect solution now? Michael broke out in a cold sweat. He said awkwardly, I thought that the new place is closer to your company. Moving there would be more convenient for your commute. But I still think you shouldn't rent it out. Being a landlord comes with too many responsibilities. If the tenant needs repairs, plumbing, or changing light bulbs, they will definitely come to you. You won't have enough time to handle that. Over time, your relationship with colleagues may also be affected. Wouldn't that impact your work? I nodded and said, "You're right, but I've already collected the deposit from my colleague. The deposit and first month's rent total 6,000 yuan. The money has already been collected. It wouldn't be good to back out now. Besides, 6,000 yuan is not a small amount." Michael wiped his sweat. He said anxiously, "I'll make up the money for you. I'll give your colleague 1,000 as compensation. You hurry up and tell him." He handed me 7,000 right after he finished. I happily went to the balcony to pretend to make a call. I thought my brother-in-law was getting married soon. My mother-in-law didn't have time to come over. Then the weekend came. She arrived right on time again. As soon as she walked in, she was furious. She pointed at the newly replaced dining table and questioned me. "This table is perfectly fine. Why did you change it? I spent quite a bit of money on that table. Speaking of this long dining table makes me angry. It's usually fine. But every time my mother-in-law comes to eat at my house, by the time I come out of the kitchen, sweating profusely, her family of 3 has already taken the best spots. The meat and dishes are always placed on the main table where Michael sits. I can only sit next to my mother-in-law. In front of me are all the vegetarian dishes she mentioned are good for women's health. Stretching my hand, I still can't reach a single meat dish. Now I can get that 7,000. Immediately, I switch to a round table. No matter where I sit, I can reach the dishes. Seeing that I was silent, my mother-in-law got even angrier. She pointed at me and said, "Today's young people really don't understand how hard it is to make money." She changes things just like that. She has no idea how hard her husband works. "You hurry and return the table. Get the original one back for me. Otherwise, I'll let Michael discipline you today." In the past, I put up with her because she is Michael's mother. I always let her have her way. This time, I am not willing to tolerate it anymore. I will push back directly. This is my home. I want to change it, so I will change it. I found the previous table unpleasant to look at. I sold it to the scrap collector for 20 bucks. "If you really like it that much, go buy it back yourself. Put it in your house." My mother-in-law was so angry that she was gasping for breath. It took her quite a while to calm down. "Speak. How could you sell it for just 20 bucks? I paid for this house. This is my home with my son. Everything here belongs to me. You can't just handle it as you wish." I replied with a cold laugh. "I am officially married to your son. We are now on the same household registration. You also said back then that this was our wedding house. If I say this is my home, then it is my home. If you have the ability, let your son divorce me." The mother-in-law angrily turned and left. Not long after, Michael just returned from a date with his mistress. He heard the mother-in-law dramatically complaining. As soon as he entered, he started yelling at me. He kept accusing me. "How could you speak to my mom like that? My mom raised me, and it wasn't easy. She even bought us a wedding house. Now she's getting older. Her views might be a bit traditional. You are the younger generation, so you should be more tolerant of her. Now we are a family. You should treat her like your own mother." I don't agree. This marriage house has nothing to do with me. Besides, no matter who he marries, he will buy a marriage house. I don't think Michael treats his mom that well usually. Why does he suddenly become filial after getting married? I rolled my eyes. "Speak. You said to treat me like family. Then when they came last time, why did they have to turn off the camera even while chatting? What exactly is there that cannot be heard?" This left Michael speechless. That night, neither of us talked to each other. Only 2 days have passed. My mother-in-law came again. This time she wasn't wearing a stern face like before. Instead, she was sitting on the sofa with a smile. I was puzzled. Michael quickly pulled me aside. He said, "I carefully thought about what you said a couple of days ago. Indeed, family shouldn't hide things from each other. We have discussed it, and we've decided to tell you about this matter. Now it's my turn to be stunned. Are they really going to tell me in person? They want to use my house as a wedding house for my brother-in-law." As soon as my mother-in-law spoke up, I almost laughed out loud. My mother-in-law said gently, "Actually, we didn't discuss much that day. It was just that Ethan is getting married at the end of next month. We've met the bride's family. We are very satisfied. The bride's family is quite down to earth. They don't ask for a house or a car. They only want a bride price of 200,000 as starting funds for the small family. We think this requirement is very reasonable. After all, we can't let them marry off their daughter for nothing. However, we have already spent all the family's savings buying a house for Michael. Right now, we really can't come up with that much money." I discussed it with Michael. I suggested he borrow some from his brother. I was afraid you wouldn't be happy. That's why I asked him to remove the camera. He said he could borrow a maximum of 100,000. We're still short of 100,000. I was just about to ask you, could you help contribute a portion? Or let your parents support some? I'm so angry that I don't even know what to say. It's just laughable. My brother-in-law is getting married. My mother-in-law actually came to ask me if I could let my parents pay the betrothal gifts. How could she have the nerve to ask such a thing? I shot back at her directly. When we got married, we asked for a betrothal gift of 60,000. But the next day, you found an excuse to take it back. You said it was to pay back relatives. Why don't you borrow from that relative again? Anyway, you can pay it back the next day. My mother-in-law's expression kept changing. She smiled awkwardly and didn't say anything more. Michael couldn't stand it. He said, "If you don't want to lend it, then don't. Why talk to my mom like that? What's wrong with you lately? Your temper is so bad." I looked at him and said, "How did you promise me back then? After getting married, we would make up the betrothal gift when we had money. But you keep saying that after paying off the mortgage, there isn't much left. How did you quietly save up 100,000 if you really have money? Then just give me the bride price now." Michael got anxious. He said angrily, "We are sincerely laying everything out for you, yet you turn around and ask me for money. Is this your serious attitude about wanting to live with me? How did it come to this? This is really immature." That day, our conversation wasn't very pleasant, but my relationship with Michael slowly improved, because Ethan is getting married soon, the day before the wedding. Michael carefully saw me to the airport. He only turned around to leave after watching me pass security. I stared at his back for a while. After he walked far away, I also left the airport. I took a taxi to the hotel I had booked across from the new apartment complex. As soon as it got light, I saw wedding cars driving into the community one after another. I understood. I understand. The time has come. As soon as the elevator doors open, the hallway is filled with the sounds of celebration from the new house. Congratulations and laughter echo throughout the entire floor. I stood at the door and didn't go in. I heard guests praising, "You are truly impressive." Just 2 years ago, he bought a house for Michael. This year, he bought such a large one for Ethan. The decoration is so exquisite. This location is so good. It must not be cheap, right? The mother-in-law said with a smile. "It's just the down payment. The loans are being paid off by my 2 sons. I can't help much. I've worked hard my whole life. Now seeing both of my sons settled down, I have no other wishes. I just hope to hold my grandson soon." A guest continued to ask, "Hasn't Michael been married for a year already? Why don't they have children yet? Having children is better sooner than later. It would be best to have 2 in 3 years. Michael, are you not going to introduce your wife? We haven't met her yet. When I married Michael, they said there was no money for a banquet. They also said that traveling weddings are popular now." My mother-in-law spoke so nicely. She said she would give us 20,000 yuan to travel abroad. In the end, we just simply got our marriage certificate. In the first year after marriage, we originally planned to go back to his hometown for the new year, but my parents felt I didn't get a honeymoon. It was a bit of a regret. So we took the opportunity of traveling during the new year and brought Michael along. I'm usually busy with work. I also didn't have a chance to meet his relatives. I turned around. I saw Michael pulling out a pure and beautiful girl from behind. He introduced her with a big smile. "This is my wife. Her name is Emma." He said to Emma, "Did you hear what your cousins said? Next year, aim to have a baby for me." Emma shyly, playfully tapped Michael's chest, which made everyone laugh even more. At that moment, someone loudly reminded, "It's time to serve tea." I'm watching Ethan and the bride with everyone's help. They kneel in front of the sofa to serve tea to the mother-in-law. The bride slowly hands over a cup of hot tea. The mother-in-law is smiling widely. After receiving the tea, she immediately gives the bride a big red envelope. Someone nearby shouts, "Don't forget to serve a cup to the elder brother and sister-in-law too." Michael and Emma are standing by. They exchange glances. They smile. Everyone is watching. Emma is about to reach for that cup of hot tea. I suddenly shout from the doorway, "Wait a minute." The room falls silent. Michael suddenly turns his head. His face turns pale. He stares at me with wide eyes, as if he has seen a ghost. Michael is stunned for a while before coming back to his senses. He asks, "Weren't you supposed to be traveling? What are you doing here?" I smile slightly. I say, "If I hadn't come back, how could I possibly drink the tea offered by my sister-in-law? It's quite strange, to be honest. My brother-in-law is getting married, and I, as the eldest sister-in-law, was the last to know." Someone whispered quietly, "What's going on?" Michael quickly ran over and pulled me outside. He lowered his voice and said, "We'll talk about this at home. Don't make a scene for now. Today is my brother's wedding. It's a day of great joy. If you ruin this wedding, our whole family will never forgive you. Isn't your mom a devout Buddhist? Let me tell you, messing with someone else's marriage is the most despicable act. At a critical moment, he even dared to threaten me. I really underestimated his maliciousness." I looked up, and I happened to catch Emma's provocative gaze inside. I pushed Michael aside and rushed over to slap Emma. I shouted, "You understand now. Michael said that ruining someone else's marriage is the most immoral thing. You actually dared to be the third party." Everyone present was stunned. Michael wanted to come over to protect Emma. I slapped him twice more with force. At this moment, a serious-looking aunt in a red dress asked, "What happened? Today is my daughter's big day. Who is causing trouble? In-laws, you need to make it clear." The mother-in-law's face turned red and pale. Before she could speak, she started shaking. I took out the loudspeaker I had prepared in advance to ensure everyone could hear clearly. I, who got married to Michael, also want to understand why my husband showed up with another woman at his brother's wedding and let everyone call her sister-in-law. The house my parents specially bought for me. How did it suddenly become their wedding house? The voice was loud enough for everyone to hear clearly. The bride immediately reacted. "Stand up and question Ethan. No wonder you only showed me a photo of the property certificate. So it turns out it's PTKS. You don't have a house at all. Your whole family actually faked a marriage. Fortunately, you didn't get the certificate. This marriage won't happen." After saying that, she ran straight out. Only then did Ethan realize what was happening. Hurry and chase after her. Aunt spat angrily on the ground. "You are truly outrageous, thanks to her. Otherwise, our whole family would have been fooled by you." As soon as the bride's family left, the mother-in-law started crying and making a scene. Pointing at me, she said, "How can there be such unreasonable people? Is it not okay to borrow your house for the wedding? What's wrong with a family borrowing a house? Today was supposed to be a joyous occasion. You've ruined everything. You're being too much." Michael also blames me. He said, "Why can't you consider the bigger picture? I already said I would explain it to you. Can't you wait even a single day? And this house is also ours, isn't it? What's wrong with me lending the house to my brother for his wedding?" I said with a cold laugh. "Borrow? The house for your brother's wedding is borrowed. The betrothal gifts for our wedding are also borrowed. Your family doesn't want to spend money on marrying a wife, right? Everything relies on borrowing. Don't think I don't understand your plans, intentionally keeping me away, not letting me attend the wedding. When I found out the house was borrowed out, you all said it was just for them to stay temporarily. In the end, I was simply asked to give up the house. Now, look at this." The relatives and friends beside me started whispering softly. "This is too inappropriate." I said, "How could they afford to buy 2 houses? It turns out the house isn't theirs at all." Michael said angrily, "Are you done yet? Don't you just want that $60,000 betrothal gift? Is it worth it to go this far over that little money?" Emma covered her face. He said with reddened eyes, "You're being too realistic. No wonder Michael chose to leave you." I let out a HMPH. If he really cared about you, he wouldn't put you in such an awkward situation. As soon as Michael heard this, he immediately pulled Emma to his side. He said firmly, "We're getting a divorce tomorrow. Once divorced, she will be my rightful lover. I like someone who's gentle, caring, and can bring me glory. Unlike you, you only argue with me here and make me feel embarrassed." I nodded with a smile and said, "Then why don't you hurry up and take her away? This is my home." The excitement didn't last long before it dispersed, but I didn't expect the divorce to be so troublesome. The banquet for that day was already prepared, but the wedding didn't take place. The bride's relatives had their meal. In the end, all the expenses were still borne by Michael's family. This has really embarrassed me. I didn't manage to marry the bride. It still costs so much money. My mother-in-law is placing all the blame on me. She insists that I pay all the fees before she agrees to the divorce. She even set conditions. She wants me to compensate them for that house and an additional $100,000 as emotional damages. I'm regretting it deeply now. I must have been blind to have liked Michael back then. I hired a lawyer to help clarify the property distribution from our marriage over the past year. Then I sent him the lawsuit. I didn't expect that after seeing the lawsuit, he realized he couldn't divide my house. Instead, he would have to share the repayment of his loan based on the marriage proportion. He got so angry that he jumped up. His voice on the phone was particularly harsh. He even complained, saying, "How could your parents calculate like this? buying a house for their daughter, and specifically stating it's a separate gift, as if anyone cares. We're just too soft-hearted. That's why you caused me to end up like this. I replied to him, haven't you calculated anything? You just want to use your salary to pay the mortgage, using my money to support the family. Later, when we get divorced, you'll say I didn't contribute a cent to this house. Are you blaming me instead? I'm just trying to give you a kind reminder. Your brother's fiancé has already left because of the issue with the marital home. Your mom is trying to keep this new daughter-in-law. She'll likely set her sights on your house. She might even make you continue paying the mortgage and give the house to your brother and sister-in-law to live in. After all, you didn't buy this house all by yourself. Michael doesn't believe it at all. He said angrily, "You're so mean. First, you meddled in my brother's marriage. Now you're trying to drive a wedge between our family. Let me tell you, no way." After Michael finished speaking, he hung up the phone, but I knew he would definitely file for divorce. Sure enough, when I was comfortably watching TV on the couch in the new house, Michael called to talk about the divorce. He was very angry. My mom insists that I give this house to my brother. She also said that my brother's girlfriend would agree to marry him if she saw the new house we prepared. Then she would agree to the marriage. This house was originally promised to me as my wedding house, so it should be mine. My brother can barely make ends meet every month. How could he afford a mortgage? I just can't figure it out. If their family is really wary of me, this wedding house could completely be registered under Michael and my mother-in-law's names. Why do they insist on adding Ethan's name as well? Later, my mom reminded me. That's when I suddenly realized. It turns out their family only has enough money to buy this one house. Whoever gets married will use it as their wedding house. When the second one is about to get married, they will discuss it with the eldest son. They want to free up this house for the second one to use for marriage. But my parents feel sorry for me. They specially bought me a house. Now they have their eyes on my house again. They think this way would be the best of both worlds. But I didn't expect to reject it on the spot. Now I've fallen out with Michael. I can't go on living like this. Michael will definitely choose to marry Emma to keep this house. He will surely choose to marry Emma. I directly demanded $50,000 as compensation. Michael has to pay $6,000 in mortgage every month, plus the $100,000 he hid from me. Asking for $50,000 is already quite considerate of me. He hesitated for a moment. In the end, he agreed to give $50,000. We quickly went to the Civil Affairs Bureau. We signed the divorce agreement. A month later, the divorce certificate was ready. Michael immediately took Emma back to the Civil Affairs Bureau, this time to obtain their marriage certificate. When they came out, Emma shyly leaned against Michael. Michael waved the newly acquired marriage certificate in front of me. He said, "Did you see that? If it weren't for your fuss, we might not have ended up like this. But honestly, you weren't meant for this. When you married me, I had nothing but Emma's wedding and dowry. I will definitely be well prepared. Who can blame her for being so understanding?" I smiled and congratulated them, but Michael left angrily after the divorce. I live alone in my newly renovated apartment. Every day I wake up to see my favorite decor. It only takes 2 subway stops to get to work. Life is easy and comfortable. I didn't expect that only a year has passed. Michael also got divorced. In fact, he was deceived into marriage. He looks thin and haggard. He is a completely different person from a year ago when he was full of energy. At that time, I was eating out. Suddenly, a stranger sat down across from me. I was just about to call for help when I suddenly heard a familiar voice. "Sophia, it's me." I looked at him in surprise. He sighed. Before he could speak, tears fell down. I was fooled. I thought Emma truly liked me, but she was just trying to scam my money. After getting married, she always said the mortgage was a big pressure. Life is too suffocating. I want to start a business. She advised me to mortgage the house, to invest the money with her cousin. At first, we did make some money, but later she said the investment was too small. We needed to add more money to earn more. I simply didn't have that much money, but she insisted I take out a loan online. I disagreed from the very beginning, but she said we were married now. How could I not trust her? In the end, I softened my heart. Taking out loans and borrowing money, I finally managed to scrape together $1 million to invest. In the end, I lost everything. She said she would go find her cousin to seek an explanation, but she never came back after that. When I couldn't contact her anymore, I realized I had been scammed. When I went to the police station to report it, I found out the name Emma was all fake. Her ID was completely forged. He cried with tears streaming down his face. "It looks really bad. while shoving food into his mouth. He said that he can't afford the mortgage and the bank has foreclosed on the house. He got fired for making mistakes at work because he kept thinking about this issue. His phone is full of debt collection messages. I really don't know what to do. After hearing about his situation, I don't feel sorry for him at all. He doesn't even think about it. Just an ordinary married man. What kind of gentle and beautiful girl would take the initiative to approach and be willing to be a third party? It's just because he seems easy to deceive. He really thinks he has a lot of charm. What he said was half true and half false. He blames all the mistakes on Emma. In reality, it's just his own greed. I don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. I picked up my bag and prepared to leave. He suddenly grabbed my sleeve. He pleaded, "Sophia, please give me some money. I can't even afford to eat now." I tightened my grip on the bag and wanted to leave. Unexpectedly, his expression changed. He pulled out a knife from his pocket. He said fiercely, "I've been looking for you for so long. If it weren't for the fact that I couldn't get into your community, you would have been dead long ago. It's all your fault that I'm like this today. You have to share this misfortune with me." The situation came too suddenly. I almost didn't dodge it. Just then, a man from the adjacent table suddenly rushed over. With a sweep of his leg, he knocked Michael down. He fell directly to the ground. The man quickly twisted Michael's arm. He pressed him firmly to the ground. Michael was still struggling. He shouted, "Let me go. I hate Sophia. It's all her fault that I've become like this. She's really despicable." My heart is still racing. When someone reminded me, I quickly took out my phone and called the police. At the police station, Michael still wanted to argue, but the restaurant surveillance captured all his movements. The man at the next table repeated our conversation verbatim. Now Michael can no longer deny it. In the end, the court sentenced him to 7 years for attempted murder. That day, after completing all the paperwork, I walked out of the police station. I looked up at the sky. The sunlight was blindingly bright.